The mind is not a wild animal to be tamed, nor a servant to be commanded. It is a landscape. Vast, fertile, and often overgrown with the weeds of unchecked thought and unruly emotion. To control it is not to put it in a cage, but to become its steward. To learn its paths, to direct its waters, to cultivate its soil with intention. This is the heart of Stoic practice. It is not about suppressing what you feel, but about mastering what you do with what you feel. It is the project of moving from being a passenger in your own consciousness to becoming the pilot. The goal is not a silent mind, but a sovereign one. This sovereignty begins with a fundamental recognition: you are not your thoughts. You are the consciousness that observes them. A thought arises: I am not good enough. An emotion follows, a wave of anxiety. The untrained mind becomes that thought and emotion. It fuses with them, believes them to be absolute truth, and is swept away by their current. The first act of control is to insert a sliver of space between the observer and the observed. See the thought as a cloud passing in the sky of your awareness. See the emotion as weather moving through the climate of your body. You are the sky, not the cloud. You are the climate, not the storm. This simple act of distancing is the foundation of all mental control. It is the moment you stop being the thought and start having the thought, which means you can now decide what to do with it. From this position of observation, you apply the Stoic's primary tool, the dichotomy of control. This is the scalpel that cuts through mental chaos. When a thought or feeling disturbs you, you must immediately subject it to a ruthless interrogation. Is this within my control? The content of the thought, the fear of failure, the memory of an insult, the anxiety about an event, is almost always about something external, something past or future, and therefore not within your control. Your heartbeat, the opinion of another, the outcome of a project, these are not yours to command. Seeing this clearly drains the thought of its urgency. Why pour energy into a vessel with a hole in the bottom? The energy of worry, of rumination, of panic, is all energy spent on the uncontrollable. The Stoic redirects that energy. The only thing that is always within your control is your judgment of the event and your subsequent action. So, you shift focus. From, what if this terrible thing happens, to, how will I choose to perceive this? How will I act with virtue regardless? Control is not exerted on the external threat, but on the internal response. This is how you reclaim your agency from circumstance. The next discipline is the governance of assent. The mind is constantly presented with impressions. This is a disaster. That person dislikes me. I can't handle this. These are not facts, they are initial interpretations, often flawed and always emotional. The untrained mind automatically assents to them. It says, yes, that is true, and the emotional cascade begins. The Stoic practices withholding that automatic assent. You catch the impression at the gate. You hold it up to the light of reason. Is this truly a disaster, or is it merely inconvenient? Is that a sign of dislike, or are they just preoccupied? Is this truly beyond my capacity, or is it just unfamiliar? By pausing to question, you break the chain reaction. You move from being a passive receiver of mental impressions to an active gatekeeper. You choose which thoughts you will let in and give power to. This is the essence of cognitive control. But control is not just defensive. It is also constructive. This is where proactivity replaces reactivity. The Stoic does not wait for the mind to be invaded by chaos, they fortify it in times of peace. This is the practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of difficulties. You deliberately, calmly contemplate what could go wrong. You visualize loss, hardship, and failure. This is not pessimism, it is inoculation. By exposing your mind to these possibilities in a controlled setting, you rob them of their power to shock and paralyze you when they appear in reality. You also prepare your response in advance. When the difficulty arrives, your mind does not panic, it executes a pre-rehearsed protocol of resilience. Furthermore, you practice negative visualization, regularly imagining the loss of what you have. This does not breed fear, but cultivates a profound, grounding gratitude and a fierce detachment from externals. A mind that knows everything is on loan is a mind that cannot be shattered by the lender asking for it back. Finally, control is consolidated through daily ritual. The mind is shaped by repetition. The Stoic morning is for preparation, reviewing the principles you will live by, anticipating challenges, and setting your intentions to meet them with virtue. The Stoic evening is for reflection, auditing the day's thoughts and actions without self-judgment, noting where you were hijacked by impulse and where you maintained command. This daily loop of preparation and review is the training regimen for mental sovereignty. It installs the operating system of reason over the default programs of passion. To control your mind, therefore, is not an act of violent suppression. It is a patient, disciplined practice of re-education. You learn to observe without fusing. You learn to discriminate between what is yours to command and what is not. You learn to guard the gates of your assent. You learn to fortify your inner citadel through voluntary mental drills. And you learn to review and refine the process every single day. You will not stop the clouds from appearing in your sky. But you can stop believing you are the cloud. You can learn to watch them pass, to understand their nature, and to decide whether you will let them block your sun or simply add texture to your horizon. The controlled mind is not a still pond, but a deep ocean. Its surface may stir with waves, but its depths are calm, vast, and unshakable. This is the Stoic goal, not to silence the storm, but to discover the stillness that exists beneath it, and to learn to reside there, in command of all that rises to the surface.